Have you ever caught yourself making the same mistake for the third, fourth, or even 10th time? You promise yourself it won't happen again, yet here you are, stepping on the same rake once more. What if I told you there's a scientific explanation for why our brains are literally programmed to repeat failures? Today we're diving into the dark psychology of human behavior that traps millions of people in cycles they can't break. And trust me, by the end of this story, you'll understand why your brain betrays you every single time. Meet Sarah, a 28-year-old marketing manager who keeps choosing the wrong romantic partners. Every relationship follows the identical script. Charming beginning, red flag she ignores, inevitable heartbreak. 3 years, 5 relationships, same devastating ending. Or take Mike, who's declared bankruptcy twice because he can't stop making risky investments. He swears each time will be different, yet finds himself drawn to the same get-rich-quick schemes, like a moth to flame. Friends, write in the comments where you're watching us from, and hit that like button if you want to discover the most unexpected truth about why we sabotage ourselves. She studied 500 individuals over 7 years, people struggling with addiction, toxic relationships, financial problems, career sabotage. The ones who escaped their patterns didn't have more willpower, better education, or stronger support systems. They had learned to recognize something psychologists call the choice point. It's that microsecond between trigger and action where everything hangs in balance. Most people blow right past it without noticing, but then something shifted. During her 6th potential relationship, she felt that familiar flutter, and for the first time, she paused. She asked herself, "Where have I felt this exact feeling before?" The answer horrified her. Every man who had broken her heart had given her that identical rush. Her brain had been using excitement as a warning signal, but she'd been misreading it as a green light. The pattern finally made sense. Dr. Rodriguez calls this phenomenon somatic intelligence. Your body knows the truth before your mind catches up. But we live in a culture that teaches us to ignore physical sensations and trust our thoughts instead. The most successful pattern breakers develop what she terms body literacy, the ability to read their physical responses like a sophisticated early warning system. They learn their personal catalog of sensations. But here's the plot twist that changes everything. Sometimes we repeat mistakes because our identity is secretly attached to being the victim. This is the part nobody wants to hear, yet it's crucial for breakthrough. Sarah realized she'd been unconsciously collecting evidence that all men are jerks because it confirmed her worldview and gave her something to bond with friends about. Being the woman with terrible luck in love had become her brand. Mike discovered his financial failures served a hidden purpose too. They proved he was just like Dad, a man who worked hard but never caught a break. Success would have meant betraying family loyalty and stepping outside generational patterns. This is where most self-help advice fails miserably. It focuses on changing behavior without addressing the deeper identity and loyalty issues that drive repetitive patterns. You can't willpower your way out of something that serves your unconscious agenda. The breakthrough happens when you get honest about what your pattern is giving you. What need is it meeting? What story does it confirm? What identity does it preserve? What loyalty does it honor? Mike's transformation required grieving the father he'd never had, one who could have taught him healthy money management and self-worth. He had to separate honoring his dad's memory from repeating his financial patterns. Dr. Rodriguez's research shows that sustainable change happens in 3 stages. First, you develop pattern awareness, catching yourself in the familiar cycle. Most people get stuck here because awareness alone isn't enough. Third, you design new behaviors that meet the same core needs, but in healthy ways. You don't just eliminate the old pattern, you replace it with something better that serves the same underlying function. But here's the kicker that most people miss. Your brain will resist change even when it's positive. Dr. Rodriguez calls this neurological rebellion. Your nervous system perceives any deviation from established patterns as potential danger. This is why New Year's resolutions fail so spectacularly. People try to force radical changes without addressing the neurological security system that's designed to maintain status quo, even when status quo is miserable. When she felt that familiar flutter, instead of immediately planning a future with the guy, she'd wait 24 hours before responding to his texts. Just one day. This small delay created space for wisdom to enter. Mike's approach was equally subtle. Instead of avoiding all investments, he started with amounts so small that losing them wouldn't trigger his panic response. $5, then 10, then 20, building new neural pathways gradually. Within 6 months, both had created new default responses. Sarah found herself naturally attracted to emotionally available men because her nervous system had learned to associate healthy dynamics with safety instead of threat. The most profound part? They both reported feeling like they'd become different people, not just people with different behaviors. Their core identity had shifted from victim to agent, from powerless to choice maker. Here's what nobody tells you about breaking repetitive patterns. It's not a one-time victory. Your old neural grooves don't disappear. They just become less traveled highways. Under stress, you might find yourself heading toward familiar exits. They've become pattern detectives in their own lives, constantly curious about what drives their choices, rather than being unconscious passengers in their own stories. The tragic truth is that millions of people will watch this video, nod along, feel inspired for about 17 minutes, then slip right back into their familiar patterns without implementing anything. Don't be one of them. Start small tonight. Notice one physical sensation when you're about to make a choice you've regretted before. Don't try to change anything yet. Just notice. That's your first step toward freedom. Remember, your patterns develop to protect you at some point in your life. Thank them for their service. Then gently show them new ways to keep you safe. Ways that actually serve your highest good.